Good afternoon, Bremerton. I'm Ash Black, and this is Afternoons with Ash. This afternoon, we are speaking to a remarkable woman. Her achievements have been recognized throughout our community, whether it be through her countless hours of advocacy work, defending civil justice, or through her endless efforts on behalf of the underrepresented. My next guest's voice has been heard from the town hall to the state capitol and beyond. It carries with it a love and reverence for her hometown and its unique chemistry that could only be achieved through 6 decades of dedication and devotion to one principle, that of truth, liberty, and justice for all. To sum her up in a few words would be a remarkable achievement. However, a statement derived from her nonprofit, Surviving Change, reads as follows. Deborah chose to overcome all the obstacles life presented to her and has become an educator and an inspirational, motivational speaker. Simply put, Deborah will blow people away towards success in life. Her stories of determination, hope, and perseverance will motivate people to go after their dreams. And if they don't have a dream, learn how to have a dream in their business and personal lives. How to continue striving towards excellence. Deborah doesn't just tell an inspiring story, she shows you. She's a former mayoral candidate, the executive director of Surviving Change. She's also the executive director of Washington's annual African American Achievement Awards. She holds multiple degrees and positions within our community. She is a fighter, a motivator, and a mentor. And she is as beautiful and as Bremerton as they come. It is with great honor and privilege that I introduce you to my friend, Miss Deborah Jackson. Thank you so much for joining us today on Afternoons with Ash.
Thank you for having me.
So I kind of talked about it a little in our opening statement there. You have done a lot for our community. You hold several degrees. Why don't we talk a little bit about all of the different things that you do, because your titles are immense.
Wow, where do I start? Because I do so much. First of all, my passion is the homeless. My feeding program that I have. My other one is vacating criminal records. My other passion is one working with the underprivileged children and families in our community. Being a part of the rental assistance program and helping those individuals get rental, second chance renting, working with numerous of landlords, helping them to prevent them from becoming homeless or taking them from homelessness, transitioning to a house, and then getting them into job readiness, and helping them to sustain a job, vacating their criminal records, getting rid of their LFOs. That's one of my passions right there. Another one is an IEP, being an IEP advocate, which is an individual education plan with the school districts with special needs children. I don't like saying special education or disabilities. I love the word special needs, that statement. Working with them, helping them get into college, helping them to be successful and graduate on time, advocating on disciplinary actions, their behavior, and dealing with the families as a family unit to help that child to become successful. I strongly believe that you need to work with the whole family, not just with that child, because you can work with that child as much as you want to, but when they go back into that environment, everything's washed away. When you touch the family, the whole family unit, you're more effective of helping that child to be successful. So that's one of my big passions, being an advocate for child welfare, individuals that are put in the foster care home, displaced from their family. I'm able to go ahead and advocate for them. I love working with Ursula Petters at Child Welfare, helping those families and those children become safe, being placed with someone that they know, they're familiar with.
Yeah.
Because the fear is already there. Oh, there is so much that I do. I'm also at this time working with 2 families that have lost their loved ones. One young man passed away in his car. Him and his wife are homeless. and I'm working right now getting him laid to rest and finding funds at this time for them. I love being with the House of Scott, and sometimes I officiate funerals. I put them together. We have such a low income base to help those individuals to lay their loved ones to rest. So I really put 160% of my love and my passion into that. I believe I do with everything that I do. I give my all. I'm always told to take care of everybody else but yourself, which that is so true. I advocate in the court system with Chad Enright, which I have an open door with him, vacating criminal records, getting rid of LFOs, credit retrievals. Individuals lost their driver's license. A lot of our young men and women that work in the shipyard have gone TDI, I can't think what it's really called, but worked in other states and then forgot to go ahead and go to court or couldn't because they had to come back home. I work with those other states, like I've done Virginia, Chicago, Alabama, and down in California, advocated for them in the courts by phones and did the paperwork and documents to help them to get their driver's license back. And I've worked with my lovely friend, Judge Doctored, I love him so much, have worked with him years ago, how he implemented a form because he got tired of me writing letters, getting these individuals back into court. And so he implemented a document and a form, into the court system so individuals can receive their driver's license back, can get their lives back together. So I loved partnering with him, with my second chance. Everyone deserves a second. Sometimes we deserve a third, fourth, fifth. I believe in not giving up on an individual. I had individuals who never gave up on me,
Right.
And which was Judge Kenneth Lewis, Officer Terry Wellings, Mr. Lane Dow, and then my one love too also is Larry Iyer. That was my first encounter as a child, working in our summer programs. He helped this little black girl from many a whoopings from my mother because I would lose my job, and he'd make sure I kept working. I would never go home. So he was a good case manager for helping many of us African Americans, black children, keep our jobs or keep working and learn work ethics.
Yeah.
So I have to, thank Larry Iyer for that. Thank Mr. Dow. I am the person I am today for Mr. Lane Dow, who believed in me in high school, and I became the Wildcat, and I was crowned Miss Spirit. Yes, and I was
I believe it.
Yes. And then Judge Kenneth Lewis, I believe my record would be a mile long if it wasn't for him believing in me and telling me, Debbie Moore, go do something with yourself. And then Officer Terry Wellings, believing in me. I know genuinely he loved and cared for me and believed in me and saw good in me just like Mr. Lane Dow did. So those were my mentors who I looked up to that made me who the person I am today.
And let's talk about the person you are today because, I've been out there and seen you working on the streets, or at parties, wherever you might be on any particular day. But the truth is you do advocate for people from the cradle all the way to the grave, obviously.
Yes.
And some of, not just society, but our specific society, our culture here in Bremerton is like most underrepresented people. And you learned that somewhere, but you learned that right here in Bremerton. So let's talk about Bremerton for you and what you've seen over the years that has required this type of work from you.
Well, I believe I would never have went to the school of hard knocks all the way if I had somebody to continue. Yes, I had those mentors and remembering what they did for me. I believed that this is what individuals need, an individual in their life like myself, to help guide them, direct them, encourage them, support them, never give up on them. Coming from a family of 13 kids, 12 different daddies, pimps, hoes, prostitutes, and drug dealers.
Right.
You know, people didn't know when I started Surviving Change and was doing all the awards and everything, I was homeless the first 5 years.
Right.
I started Surviving Change out of the trunk and with students in my car. And I was homeless and no one never knew. By going back to school, getting 3 degrees in 3 years and being an example for my children, you see, I didn't blame the white man and everything for my barriers or like they owed me something.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just took all what I learned from those individuals that was my mentor and implemented in my life. And, you know, I don't want to cry, but they meant a lot to me in my life and they believed in me. We were so shunned, and I don't mean to get off track, but we were so shunned as kids because of my mother's discretions.
Yeah.
You know, you know, coming from a family of 13 kids, 12 different daddies, some of us are aunts and uncles and cousins to one another within the family dynamics. And that was kind of hard. We weren't good enough to be in the NAACP or belong to certain organizations coming up as a child because we were so branded.
Yeah.
When I came back here, they still treated me the same way. Even if I went away, did businesses, had another nonprofit, came back with kids graduating from college. My children are in law enforcement. I come back with 3 degrees, my master's I received in 1 year. You know, I was still in that stigmatized, even people who didn't know me. But you know, when you say something bad, that spreads, and like wildflowers, your good works never spread.
That's true. And I know that, you know, you carry a lot of that pain still with
Correct.
you. You know, it's hard for you to forgive yourself for something that, you know, really was never your fault. But I want you to know that your community loves you and we forgive you. You know, I can't think of anybody that I've met who doesn't have something amazing to say about your work for our community. Tell me this. You did face a lot of barriers as a child here in Bremerton. Do those barriers still exist in our
Yes,
city? What does that look like?
the barriers still exist. I had to say, our leaders and are now trying to come around with the diversity, you know, equity, inclusion. They are really trying to work towards that.
DEIB,
No,
diversity, equity, and inclusion.
inclusion.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go. Thank you. And how they're implementing that and trying to adapt that and embrace that. So I see them moving in that direction, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
But what still heartens me and everything is just that our community, the Black community, and everything, there's still a struggle there. Being accepted, you know, in that community, and it's hard. I mean, it is really, really hard, especially for me because that stigma, some don't even know. They just go by what somebody has said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they still carry that on. And even if it's not true, you know, they still go on that belief system, or they're envious of what I'm doing. And then they want to turn it around and make it bad, you know, just to hold me back. And that's tough. But my love for the community and the people, and, you know, I am a fighter. You know, I wasn't born, like I was built to survive, you know.
Built to survive.
Yes. I'm such a fighter, and I believe in my community so much. I am a Bremertonian.
Right.
You know, born and raised, embedded here. You know, and so my passion and my love for people that have had challenges like myself, wasn't born with a silver spoon. This is kind of tough. It is. Because no one doesn't really know the real me,
Yeah.
you know, and that hurts. They don't know my love and my passion and how much those other individuals that I talked about that made an impact in my life, and how I want the underprivileged and the challenged and the homeless to feel what I feel by accomplishing and changing your life and being so supportive to them.
Yeah. Without throwing anybody under the bus, we were speaking on November 1st. I went down to MLK and was there interviewing and taking photographs of the encampment as it was, as the initial phase of movement began, as what I like to refer to as an exodus. How does it make you feel to see our most underrepresented and underprivileged members having their few belongings, their few personal belongings taken from them as a result of a measure that was put in place by our community? How did that feel to you when you heard about what was going on down there?
Well, it was a flashback, and it took me back when I was homeless for 5 years. I was blessed to be put all my stuff in storage for those 5 years, and I felt for them, you know what I'm saying, because I've been there, you know, and this is why some of them I still have a relationship with, and I'm still working with some of them now, and how it made me feel. It made me want to still get in there and fight for them and to help those individuals. I don't go out and advertise my work. I don't. I just do it because it's a passion and a love of mine.
Yes.
And I just want people to be healed, sometimes, and be accepted and to be loved. I am so unorthodox. And people say, oh, she's so harsh. But people know that I love them, that I work with, and then I'm in for the long haul and the fight, and I want to teach them the fight and let them know they're just not they always say, are you living, are you existing? And I don't want them to ever feel that they're just existing. I want them to find a dream and to make sure that they're living and find that hope, and that's deep down inside, and give them the spirit to fight.
And you've seen it in your own life.
Yes. So I want to teach them and share with them my life and to let them know you can do it too. Coming from where I come from and accomplishing, and then my children going to college, and we all graduated. We're the graduating family of 2004. And sharing my story and sharing all of my life's barriers, being a survivor of childhood molestation, rape, been in the foster care system. So sharing my story and tell them how I overcame it, and being in there supporting them even when they backslide, go back into their addiction. I'm still there. So when I saw that on Martin Luther King, it just made me want to get in there and fight to let them know this is not the end. There's more to come, and good can come out of this. You're better than this. We can do something about this to get them to the next step. First is trust, and I go in there and work with them with trust that they can count on me. I'm not going in there judging, looking down on them, because I'm one of them. And I know damn well that they can be successful. They're somebody's child. There's homeless people to me, and that were on Martin Luther King, they are somebody's child, but they have a lot of skills and potentials, just like Mr. Lane Dow, Officer Terry Welling, Judge Kenneth Lewis, Larry Iyer as a child, how they saw that in me. I see that in them. I look beyond their faults. You know what I'm saying? Their situation that they're in, and go in there and help them to visualize to seeing something better, that they can do stuff. So I'm just not on Front Street. I think I'm for real, and I love them, and I'm one of them. I am. I hope I answered your question.
Oh, you're okay. We spoke a moment about an opportunity for the community to come together. And I do believe one's coming up in February. Why don't we talk a little bit about that before we end the show today? The African American Achievement Awards. This will be our 11th year running.
Yes, our 11th. We lost some years in there because of COVID, but it's our 11th one.
Yeah, and I'm very privileged to be part of this year, but why don't you go ahead and tell our viewers a little bit about the African American Achievement Awards, what brought it to Bremerton, and why it's so important that we have an event like this here every year?
Well, the birth of it is because working with the children, the students, the adolescents, and the school systems, they needed to see people that look like them, that are successful, that comes from backgrounds like them. I had judges, the chief of staff of the governor, I had addicts, we had murderers, we had judges, ex-mayors, everybody from all walks of life in there, eating and mingling together as one, and you couldn't tell no difference. You know, so that was to bring a melting pot together, so that individuals can see us. We can work together. We can live together. And just to show them, we've been here. We just haven't just arrived. And to show off our talents. You know, we have an opera singer that comes all the way from Lyons, France to perform, Bridget Bazile. You know, we have a comedian, Gerald Kelly, coming from New York. We have spoken words from individuals that's been in the prison system. Chad, this past year, just did a clemency for him, and he was able to come and share his story to redeem himself and forgiveness to our community. That was a blessing and a healing. We had addicts that was there to come, got to know our former mayor, you know, mingled in. I do fit in. You understand what I'm saying? I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't sit in the back. They were up front. You know, I did their makeovers, dresses, tuxes, and everything, you know, and they was in heaven. So the birth of that is to inspire, you know, our young people, you know, inspire the have-nots.
And we're having that at the Marvin Williams Center on February 24th?
Yes, February 24th at 5 p.m.
February 24th at 5 p.m., Bremerton. Don't miss it.
Oh,
Deborah,
yes.
thank you so much for being on our show today. I wish we had a little more time to talk about this, but I'm really excited to see what this year brings for you and for the African American Achievement Awards and Surviving Change. And I just can't thank you enough for being here today.
All right, thank you. Now, I just wanted to tell you this. We do have another nonprofit I do. It's called Hope 360.
Okay.
Yes, so we're very creative, and we do a lot of, you know, healing within Hope 360.
Surviving Change, Hope 360.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, thank you for having
Thank you,
me.
Deborah.
I appreciate you.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you too. Bremerton, Washington is a magical city with its diverse community, natural beauty, and vibrant culture. It's no wonder that 45,000 residents lovingly call it home. As we head into the future, let us be cognizant of our past and not forget the lessons that history has to teach us about ourselves, who we are as a people, and where we would like to see ourselves headed in the future. Because we do live in a magical place where dreams come true, but we have to be careful that those dreams are not just for some, but for us all. I want to thank my special guest, Deborah Jackson, for joining us on the show today. As we mentioned, Deborah is not only the executive director of Surviving Change, but a mentor and a life coach. So if you're interested in learning more about her and her organization and what she does, please check out Surviving Change. And also, please don't forget that the Washington African American Achievement Awards are being held in February on the 24th at the Marvin Williams Center right here in Bremerton at 5 p.m. Tickets will be available soon, so don't forget to mark your calendars for this extraordinary event. And whether you're tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, or right here on Comcast and Wave, we are thrilled that you're with us. Right here on the only show where we delve into the stories that define us and explore the beating heart of our community.